From mental health to college admissions counseling and now entering a doctoral program, how can I not be the person to shout from the rooftops about the importance of education, the power of ideas, and just the massive role that digital media has played within all of that? These aren't just things that I've studied, they're parts of my life. I've seen how one idea, when shared the correct way, can change someone's path. I've seen how education serves as our foundation for building confidence and opening doors. I've also seen how these digital platforms can take personal experiences and make them into things that help other people grow. So that's why I'm here to talk about why ideas shape the world, how education empowers us, and just the role and things that I've learned in this digital media space. How ideas shape the world. Ideas are powerful, not just in the billion-dollar sense, but also those that simply spark connection, solve everyday problems, and help people feel seen. When I started sharing college admissions advice, it wasn't a part of some grand plan. I simply wanted to help people. I wanted students to feel less overwhelmed. I wanted parents to feel supported. I wanted everyone to be able to see a more candid part of the admissions process. And honestly, if we're being real, it was also a way to relieve some of my boredom, just given that traveling and recruiting can sometimes be very lonely. But then the messages started pouring in, I started receiving feedback, and I started seeing the impact that I was making. People appreciated my authenticity. This was when it all clicked. Ideas weren't simply about them being perfect. It was about you sharing them and sparking someone else's flame. Why education matters? Why doesn't it matter? It teaches us to think, and not just to think, but to keep thinking. When I started my journey at HBCU, a single gender institution that valued community, identity, and purpose, I very quickly learned that education was not a one-size-fits-all. Although I was not a first-gen student myself, my parents were. That did not stop them from instilling in us the importance of having education. And they also let us know that education can look a number of different ways, and that it was important to always know that you're going to continue learning. Now, as I prepare to start my doctoral degree in a research interest of communications, I feel it's only a natural next step. I understand how behaviors and thoughts influence one another, but how about how those thoughts and behaviors influence how we communicate with each other? My digital marketing journey didn't start with some strategy. As I've shared, I wanted to help people. And as I was posting content, I very quickly learned that it wasn't just about myself. It was about helping those who may benefit or learn something from what little old me had to share. Along the way, I also learned patience and determination throughout this entire process, as I didn't have a coach or guidance as I was learning and doing all of this. Because, spoiler alert, not everything goes so smoothly on the first try. Motivation, yes, that's important as it does come and go. However, the real game changer we need to be talking about is consistency. Technically speaking, I dove into analytical tools and tested out different content styles. I paid attention to what worked for others, and I wasn't afraid to try new things. Sometimes I had wins and sometimes I had crickets. However, I knew that even as I didn't feel motivated, I had to continue posting. For me, motivation was about showing up and staying curious and remembering why I started doing this in the first place. And even when the algorithm felt like it was working against me, I had to stay consistent. So in closing, what have I learned along the way? I've learned that words have this extreme yet powerful power to spark change, big or small. And education is the foundation that builds our confidence and allows these ideas to be something that is real. And I know that we're supposed to be talking about motivation, but as I shared, consistency is the real MVP here. That's what keeps us showing up, keeps us pushing forward and reminded of our purpose. And even when things get messy or confusing, we know how to navigate every space, including digital ones. So as someone who's been in school for over 2 decades, I am committed to being in a learning space for many, many more. I thank you for being on this lifelong journey with me, and let's remember that we are always and forever learners. Thank you.